The tires screeched like a banshee as a black Ford F-150 smashed through the unmarked van's windshield, glass exploding in a glittering cascade. Emily was halfway inside that van. No plates, no logos, when the chaos erupted. Her brother, Nathan, a former Navy SEAL, stepped out of the truck like a force of nature. What happened next will leave even the most jaded reader reeling. But to understand the full weight of this story, we need to start at the beginning. It was an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. Emily had just wiped down the kitchen counter, her coffee gone cold, when a knock rattled the front door. Not a polite tap, 3 sharp, heavy blows that felt like a demand, not a request. The sound froze her. She wasn't expecting anyone. No packages, no neighbors, nothing. Heart pounding, she crept to the peephole. 2 men stood on her porch in crisp Navy uniforms, utility belts cinched tight, the letters HOA emblazoned in bold white across their chests. One clutched a clipboard, the other, arms crossed, wore sunglasses despite the overcast sky. They looked like budget rent-a-cops, but their posture screamed authority. "What do they want?" Emily muttered, cracking the door just enough to speak. "Can I help you?" The clipboard guy stepped forward, his voice flat. "We're conducting a compliance inspection. Your property has multiple violations." He flipped through pages with theatrical flair. Unauthorized mailbox design, unapproved fence height, excessive yard ornaments. Emily blinked, incredulous. "Those aren't real violations. These are serious breaches of community standards," he replied, unblinking. She glanced past him. No marked vehicle, just a plain white van parked at the curb, tinted windows, no plates. Her stomach twisted. "If there's an issue, send a formal notice," she said, starting to close the door. Sunglasses guy moved fast, jamming his foot in the gap. "You need to come with us," he said, his tone low and commanding. Emily's breath caught. "That's not happening," she snapped, but he reached for his belt, flashing a badge. Plastic, cheap, like something from a costume shop. Fear surged. "You're not HOA?" she whispered. Clipboard guy lunged, grabbing her wrist with bruising force. Emily screamed, a raw, primal sound, and yanked back, but he was too strong. Sunglasses guy swung the door wide, and Emily stumbled halfway across her own threshold. The street was silent, her neighbors' houses dark. No one was watching. The van's rear doors creaked open, revealing a black void. No seats, no lights, just shadows. "Get her in," one shouted. Emily fought, slamming her heel into Clipboard's shin. He grunted but dragged her down the steps. Her phone tumbled into the grass, useless. Her knees scraped concrete as they shoved her toward the van's gaping maw. Then, a roar, a guttural engine growl. Tires screeched around the corner, and a black Ford F-150 barreled toward them like a missile. "Nathan." The truck slammed into the van's front end with a bone-rattling crunch. Glass shattered, metal screamed, and the van rocked violently. Clipboard guy stumbled, his grip loosening. Sunglasses guy was thrown to the ground, dazed. Emily scrambled back, palms bloodied on the pavement, as Nathan stepped out of the truck, 6 feet 4 inches, buzz cut, a wall of controlled rage. He didn't speak, just moved. Clipboard tried to run. Nathan caught him in 3 strides, slamming him against the van. "Taking my sister," he growled, forearm pinning the man's chest. "We thought," the man stammered. "Thought wrong," Nathan snapped, his voice ablade. Sunglasses guy crawled, reaching for something under the van's seat. Nathan was on him in seconds, planting a boot between his shoulder blades. "Don't." Emily, shaking, nodded when Nathan glanced back. "You good?" he asked. "Yeah," she croaked, barely believing it. The van hissed, steam pouring from its crumpled hood. The fake badge lay in the dirt, pathetic. Sirens wailed in the distance, real ones. Nathan stood over the men like a judge, his presence bending the air. "You're done," he said. The police arrived fast, 3 cruisers, lights flashing. Officers cuffed the imposters, who groaned about misunderstandings. Nathan handed over his phone, calm. "They tried to kidnap my sister. I stopped them." Emily nodded, voice steadying. "They pretended to be HOA. Dragged me toward that van." The lead officer peered inside the van and froze. Black mats, zip ties, duct tape, a rolled-up hood. "This wasn't a prank," he muttered. "They found photos in the van, Houses, license plates, names. Emily's face stared back from one, taken from her backyard. Her blood ran cold. "That's me," she whispered. The officer flipped through. 8 names. You weren't the only target. Nathan's fists clenched. They've done this before. The detective, a grizzled man named Harper, nodded. We're seeing fake HOA scams, intimidation, fines. But this? This is abduction. He showed mugshots. Clipboard was Marcus Tate, a grifter with priors in 4 states. Sunglasses was Ethan Cole, a con man who'd posed as a code enforcer in Georgia. They'd formed a fake LLC, operating out of a P.O. box. The story exploded online. A neighbor's blurry photo of the wrecked van hit the local Facebook group, captioned, "Fake HOA tried to kidnap someone on my street." By morning, news outlets ran it. First local, then national. True crime blogs dissected it. Then the FBI called. Special Agent Lauren Kessler sat across from Emily at her kitchen table, badge gleaming. This wasn't a one-off, she said. Tate and Cole were part of a network. 4 teams, 3 states. Fake HOA, fake badges, targeted kidnappings disguised as enforcement. She slid a photo across. Emily watering her plants, unaware. They watched you for weeks. Nathan, leaning against the counter, didn't flinch. How long have you been tracking them? Months, Kessler admitted. You disrupted something big. They'd raided a storage unit tied to the LLC. Fake uniforms, blank IDs, a laptop with 60 names marked soft targets. Emily's stomach churned. They were trafficking people? She asked. Kessler nodded. Under fake legal authority. You fought back. Most don't. Emily agreed to testify. The trial was a circus, cameras, protesters, debates over vigilante justice. Nathan's truck became a symbol, hero to some, reckless to others. Online, ex-posts raged. Nathan's a legend, one read. Another, he could have killed someone. What if he was wrong? The controversy fueled clicks, shares, arguments. Weeks later, Emily sat on her porch, rain drumming the roof. Nathan sipped coffee beside her. They'll serve time, he said. But you don't feel safe. Not yet, she admitted. The silence of her street gnawed at her. Neighbors who hadn't noticed, hadn't cared. They got away with it because no one was watching. Nathan handed her a binder. Neighborhood Alliance. Bylaws, patrol schedules, a hotline to verify uniforms. HOA Watch, he called it. Emily stared. You planned this. Started the night it happened, he said. We're done waiting. They held their first meeting in a dingy library room. Emily stood, voice steady. My name's Emily. 2 men tried to take me from my home. They used fake badges, fake rules. They counted on our silence. But we're done being silent. The room listened. 15 people, then 30, then 100. HOA Watch grew, partnering with police, verifying every knock. Neighbors shared stories, fake inspectors, fraudulent fines. The community woke up. At a town hall, Emily spoke to a packed auditorium. Predators count on shame, on isolation. We're done giving them that. The applause was deafening. 3 people approached her afterward, tears in their eyes, sharing their own stories of fraud and fear. Emily hugged them. She'd found her voice. Months later, Emily and Nathan caught another unmarked SUV on their street. She called the hotline, and the men drove off, no trace left. Still got it, Nathan grinned. Always will, Emily replied. This story isn't just about a rescue. It's about power, trust, and the cost of silence. Was Nathan a hero or a reckless vigilante? Should Emily have fought harder, or was her survival enough? What would you do if fake authority knocked on your door? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's debate the ethics, the risks, the reality. How far would you go to protect your home, your family, your voice? Hit that like button, share this story, and let's keep the conversation going. Because silence is what predators want, and we're done giving it to them.